three questions to ask yourself. What is the result that I'm after? Right? So what is the tangible result? That might be losing a certain amount of weight. That might be looking a certain way, maybe on the beach, or maybe you might be feeling a certain strength or vitality in your body. It might be being able to do something physical. Like I want to go and run a 5K, or I want to hike a 4,000 foot mountain, or I want to be able to deadlift this amount of weight. You want to build something that's tangible as a result. And so that result ideally is not just, you want to have multiple results. You want to have a result that's in the long term, right? Like where do you want to see yourself a year from now? Where do you want to see yourself 6 months from now? And where do you want to see yourself 3 months from now? If you build the long-term result, you can rewind it and kind of figure out the incremental wins along the way. And the second thing we want to do once we have that result is we want to ask ourselves, what is the purpose? Why is this compelling? Why is it important for me to do this? Because if there's not a compelling why, on the hard days, you're not going to follow through. I think of myself, for example, one of my goals was to run a 62.5 mile ultra marathon, which is an insane goal. It was an insane result. But the reason why is, personally, I wanted to develop into the type of person who could withstand that kind of pain. It sounds a little masochistic when you say it like that, but the truth is I wanted to see, like, internally, what could I overcome? I thought it was a really great test. In the season of life, I really wanted to push myself that way. There were some lessons I needed to learn about myself, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful experience. But the thing that anchors the purpose together is the impact. And so once we know the result, once we know the purpose, we want to go back to the impact. What is the impact that this change will make in my life? Because if it's just about building a body, if it's just about building a race, that's fantastic. But I guarantee you will not experience the long-term progress that this change really has for you. So for me, it was about really showing up as a better spouse. Like I really want to be more of myself. And I know that when I tap into that part of my power, I'm better for Lindsey. I'm better inside of our coaching experience, whether that's as a one-on-one coach or leading our team. I also felt like I was going to be better for our business. It's like, hey, if I can handle this kind of pressure, it's going to teach me something when I come here. And so when we start to think of the impact, it's like if you want to change your body, and the reason why is you want to have more confidence, it's like, how is that going to impact your family? How's that going to impact your career? How's that going to impact your business or your friends? We want to build a staircase to something different, or a bridge, if you will, to that other area of our life. And that way, they're both working in unison. I think the challenge sometimes can feel like we're taking away from those areas of life. But if we see our fitness and our health as something that gives us more of what we want in other areas, it's far easier to follow through, and it just becomes a part of who you want to be. So I just wanted to add that as like a tidbit for what does it mean to build inspiring goals. You can use these three questions to outline something that really compels you forward, and that's going to help you be more consistent with the other things we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I think that especially for professionals and for business owners, people who they put a lot of stock into their career, into how they're showing up in that area of life, it can feel like fitness takes away from it. It can feel like I have to take a break from what I'm doing, I have to cancel a meeting, I have to pull back in order to do these other things. Or I have to wake up at 4 a.m. and sacrifice my sleep. If that's where you're at, I promise there's a better way, and we're going to talk about it. But the start of the better way is by thinking, okay, I have these fitness goals. These don't exist in a silo. These actually could help me be better in my career, show up differently, have better energy for my team, for my clients. So already starting to bridge that gap is going to help a lot with your motivation to take action.